Hello there and welcome. I'm Ashley Blake and this is Inside Out at Tutbury Castle in Staffordshire. In the next half hour, 3 surprising stories about the places where you live. Our top story tonight. We're on the trail of the mini motorbikers terrorising parts of the Midlands.
I'd rather have a crying 7-year-old, one who's alive and breathing, than a dead 7-year-old who's crashed into the barrier over there.
Also tonight, Phil Upton gets a sneak preview of Birmingham's rejuvenated town hall.
It's so important that we get this right and that people come back and they feel that it's the building they remember and that they love.
And in our final story, we ask if a new generation of pirate radio is putting our lives at risk.
We could be here talking now and a door could kick off and you'd be arrested as well for being involved with a pirate radio station.
That's all coming up on tonight's Inside Out with me, Ashley Blake. Now, pirate radio gets a bad press. Not only are its DJs broadcasting illegally, but its signals can interfere with emergency services and its programmes have been accused of inciting violence. But are these pirates of the airways really as bad as they claim?
Yes, this is your boy Nathan, and you're listening to Mr. Masters on Sting FM, Sting FM, Sting FM.
I listen to about 40 or 50 hours of radio every week. Some of it I get pleasure out of, and some of it I'm quite pleased to be able to switch off.
Right out of Birmingham right now, I'm giving it to you.
Most of us turn the radio off when we don't like the music. Mike Bothma has no choice but to keep on listening. As an Ofcom officer, Mike's job is to track down illegal pirate radio stations and take them off the air for good.
We're going to locate a pirate radio station transmitter, which will normally be located on a rooftop, and then from there we'll take bearings and locate the studio.
With so many rooftops to choose from, finding a transmitter isn't easy. Mike knows there's one nearby, but will he be able to locate it?
From this now I can see the signal's about 72 dB, so it's pretty close to here. I'm not exactly sure where, but what I'm going to do now, using this aerial and this meter, I'm going to trace the signal to its source and find out where the transmitter is actually located.
Tracking a station these days isn't as difficult as it used to be.
Here is Richard Narby there by the Four Tops. Good gracious me, what a fantastic record. Now if you feel that you can't
go on. In the 60s, the pirates were at sea. The likes of Radio Caroline set the trend for pirate broadcasting. 40 years on and the movement is still alive. Only now the pirates are on dry land. Today there are 150 pirate radio stations in the UK. Many of them are tucked away, operating right under our noses. A flicker on your TV set or a crackling on your radio may indicate that a station is nearby. Most of us remain oblivious, but Ofcom say we should be concerned. Officers say lives are being put at risk by DJs who insist on hijacking the airwaves.
The one thing I certainly don't want to do is one day listen to the news and hear that a pirate radio station has caused an accident, or it's refrained somebody being able to obtain emergency treatment because they couldn't use their communication system.
But over the last year, Mike can only recall one complaint against a pirate radio station interrupting aircraft communications. In fact, the pirates claim they avoid using the same frequencies as the emergency services.
Right out of Birmingham right now, I'm giving it to you. There's a track they call Star Trek. It's a track they call the real word. Take a listen.
So how responsible are these DJs? After all, they're breaking the law. We've been given exclusive access to a station, albeit a temporary one. Sting FM is rooted in reggae music. Described as an Afro-Caribbean station, it draws in listeners from all ethnic backgrounds.
All you need is a mixer, a double CD deck player, a microphone, a compressor to make sure your station sounds good, and obviously you need a transmitter.
You brought me to a temporary studio, why not the real studio?
Well, just to protect you at the end of the day, because anything can happen at any time, i.e. the authorities.
We could be here talking now and a door could kick off, police, Ofcom, and you'd be arrested as well for being involved with a pirate radio station.
So why do you do this? Because it's illegal.
Well, we'll start off by saying if it wasn't needed, we wouldn't be here. Now, we do a lot more for the more local community than, you know, the big radio stations, the legal radio stations. We're more in touch with what's actually happening on the streets because we are on the streets and we see what is going on.
So by targeting these stations, is Mike taking away a service that the pirates provide for communities who can't find what they want to listen to on legitimate stations?
They're not doing a community service at all. They're there for profit. That's what they want to use pirate radio for. 30% of listeners across the UK complained of interference from pirate radio last year. What these radio stations do is they charge the DJs up to £20 an hour for going on air. They charge £100 a week for adverts, £200 just for making the adverts. They're there for profit, basically.
So, are pirates accumulating piles of cash from illegal activity? Is it really all about the money?
Well, I'm losing money at the moment, so obviously it's costing me petrol to come down here. I have to pay subs to go on the radio. In the daytime, when I was doing daytime shows, I was losing a day's pay. So sometimes I'll be losing up to £200 a week.
Last year, Mario's pirate station, Renegade FM, was taken off the air by Ofcom. Now he travels from Coventry to London to DJ on another dance music station.
Yeah, it is illegal, but it's a nice illegal, really, because we're still providing a community.
Getting onto a pirate station isn't easy, but for many aspiring DJs, it can be a useful training ground.
I'm getting myself known as a DJ down there because obviously London's a big place and you're getting yourself more recognised. Nothing comes close to being in the studio while you're DJing in the studio when you're interacting with your listeners.
Me say me gon' go make a movie man over India. Play now when me catch a Indian airliner.
It's not just DJs who use pirate stations to make a name. Birmingham's Apache Indian has had 8 top 40 hits. His first song was played on pirate radio.
They played a record that perhaps many stations wouldn't play. I didn't have all the clearances, all the legal clearances that, you know, the commercial stations needed. And it was from there that broke the record, broke the artist, that the other stations started listening to that, which for me led to a record deal.
But the airwaves are not free from problems. The Lascelles riots, October 2005, some say encouraged by pirate radio stations Hot FM and Sting FM. DJs were accused of perpetuating rumours that a black girl was sexually assaulted by a group of Asian men. An allegation fiercely denied by Sting DJs.
It was nobody from Sting FM that actually said anything at all.
That's true.
It was another radio station, yet Sting FM's name got called because we all get tarnished with the same brush.
Who are these? Who are these? Studio there.
Ofcom's on the attack again. Another raid and another illegal station's about to go.
I think that's the audio cable.
This time last year there were 25 pirate radio stations in the Midlands. Now there are just 5. It's not Sting FM this time, and there's no one to arrest inside this station. Instead, the equipment is confiscated.
There's mixer deck and CD player. These are obviously being used. Again, evidence that the station's been operating from here illegally.
If they're taken to court, the managers of this station face unlimited fines and up to 2 years in prison.
The raid has definitely been successful. We've managed to take the studio, we managed to ascertain who it is that's renting the accommodation. We've cleaned the airwaves and stopped the broadcasts. So now people that want to legitimately listen to radio can listen to the stations they want to without being disrupted by this pirate radio station.
This station has been successfully shut down, although it'll only be a matter of time before another one is set up. For now at least, it appears Mike and his team are winning the wireless war.
Well, if you want to let me know what you think about that or any of tonight's stories, drop me a line via the website bbc.co.uk/insideout. It'll be great to hear from you. Coming up on next week's Inside Out, we reveal the shocking truth about the dangers of horse riding. Is an important part of Midlands military history about to disappear forever? Former East Ender Nick Bailey goes in search of a black role model. And that's it for tonight, but don't forget to join us at the same time next Wednesday. I'll see you then.